So, we know these accidents and incidents can occur at any place. It's not only to the, up to the aviation or any other manufacturing industry or production industry. It is there at every place. And what are the tips which we are going to discuss here for the pilots and the maintenance crews and for the aviation professionals over here, I'm sure they are going to be very much useful for us. Oh, what is this? I think I made this presentation yesterday in the late night, so some mixed up. But are these the tips for the, for making a long-lasting relationship with our partner and spouses? Is it not similar to the safety factors what we need to adapt in the aviation? I personally feel it is. Let's get into our topic. As we have already discussed that aviation, in aviation and also in all the industry and also in our personal lives, we come across various incidents and problems due to very minor lapses on our part, which when we revisit those particular points, I'm sure that we can make the aviation and the industry safer and our relationships much stronger. And here in this presentation, due to paucity of time, I'll be covering only very few topics in it, but I will definitely, the kids over there, I'll definitely let you know from where you can find the rest of the points which I'm not going to cover here. Fatigue. What is fatigue? The physical and mental exhaustion when we have prolonged days of work or lack of sleep, or you're tired and exhausted and still you're trying to keep yourself pushed to work more. You tend to get into the fatigue bracket. So it can be a temporary or chronic also. When you're in the state of fatigue, it affects our thinking, our concentration, and also to complete our tasks. We will not be able to complete our tasks efficiently or to the level to what we think of that we should be able to achieve upon. So what are those factors? Some of them are like this. Lack of energy, mood changes, and I said poor decision making. In most of the sessions which I have heard to in the past when I was a kid or stuff, we all know what the challenges are, but sometimes we miss out how to come out of those challenges. But I believe here we are not going to miss out. How to come out of the fatigue? We need to take enough adequate rest, and we should practice various relaxation techniques which are existing, which we know in the yoga, the YouTube and all of the stuff. It teaches us yoga and various kinds of meditations which have been discussed over in our panel discussions also, which have been brought up on a small topic on it. And it is very much important for us to celebrate a very small milestones also, which will motivate us to look forward for the next step in doing or leading to our next level or the next goal which we are intended to. Like in Airbus, let us suppose an engineer is there, okay, he has been told, okay, Mr. Manoj, you are an engineer, you go there, bring me the FCU from that particular aircraft which is unserviceable. So I diligently went there, I put in my efforts, I have removed the FCU, I brought it to the place where it need to be, and when we replace certain component, there are some consumables which we need to change, I brought the component back. Then my manager said, what did you bring? I told you to bring FCU. Then I said, see, I brought FCU only. But what he meant was fuel control unit. But what I thought was, it is flight control unit. So this is because of lack of focus due to fatigue, or even the further topic which we'll discuss, we will bring this particular example again. As per NTSB, these are the accidents. These are few of the accidents. The root cause for these accidents was due to fatigue. One of the root cause, to be precise. Can we expect how many people have lost in these crashes? It's more than 100. Only these three I'm talking about. And few hundreds of injured people too. Now let's go to lack of communication. What is lack of communication? As we can rightly see here, which leads to errors if we don't communicate properly, misunderstandings, which you all or maximum might have come across, not only in the professional lives, but also in our personal lives too. And this lack of communication can definitely lead to a serious consequences. Why these misunderstandings do happen? It happens because of inaccurate information or incomplete information or without a proper coordination among the various teams. This lack of communication can also lead to, missing the opportunities for innovations or the inventions and improvements, which this also decreases our morale and also job satisfaction. And as we have discussed, this definitely going to affect our personal space also if you don't communicate well and with proper clarity with our partners or even with our kids or with our family. These are few of the challenges which we come across in the lack of communication, which leads to poor coordination and collaboration. And as we have discussed the last example, we have wasted the resources due to lack of proper communication, not elaborating what is FCU clearly means. And in case if the manager couldn't find that what he intended and what the engineer has brought, that could have led to an incident or an accident. Now let us see what the tips are for this. We have to practice active listening. Oh, what is this active listening? We all listen every day. Let me tell you one interesting fact. It is proven that our mind, at the back of our mind, we process 800 words a minute, means the thoughts which comes into to our mind. So, but when we are listening to somebody, as you are doing for me now, what is happening? I don't say 800 words a minute. It is far, far, far less than 10% or so. So during that time, it happens that our mind wanders off when we are speaking. So it is very important that you focus on to the people, those who are talking wherever it is relevant and important. When there is a doubt, we are supposed to ask queries on it. And we should always express our thoughts. That's where we can bring the clarity on it. In the similar lines, these are few of the accidents which have occurred due to lack of communication. And as the root cause, this has been said by in the reports of NTSB. And as we all know, these accidents are almost, fatalities were almost near to 900. And injured people are almost near to 300 people. And the last point which I would like to discuss upon is regarding to the complacency. Complacency is a place where we feel that, okay, it is enough what we did till now. Where you feel reluctant to go to the next step, where you are satisfied with our own achievements. Then where is the progress? Where is the looking forward for the next day? Or how will you feel excited to wake up for the next day? Yeah? It is a very dangerous situation, being self-satisfied, apathetic, and unaware of potential dangers or challenges, being complacent. In other words, it is a feeling of contentment or comfort that can lead to lack of motivation or a failure to recognize potential problems. Here too, I'm going to explain what are the challenges and what are the tips from which we can come out of that. Here, when we are complacent, we will feel stagnated. our creativity is reduced and we will resist to change, you know. So how should we come out of it? We should focus on self-awareness. Where do I stand? What is required? What need to be looked into? What should I do the next day, tomorrow? How can I progress myself? How can I take my organization to the next level? How can I make my children or my mentees to progress and go to the next step? And we should be ready to take the change. As said by Yuval Noah Harari in the book 21 Lessons of 21st Century, within next 2-3 decades, it is expected that we cannot lead, or as we do now, the entire career. I am into the aviation and till retirement I am going to be in aviation. But after 2-3 decades, it is not going to be the way the world is going to be. Young a lot, remember this. It is going to change after every 10 years. It means today you are going to be an aircraft maintenance engineer. Tomorrow it may be required that you have to be, a doctor or a pilot or a software engineer or a developer or an inventor or an innovator or a teacher, So such is the pace the world is changing. We should be ready for that. If you turn out to be complacent, I'm sure it will be challenging for us to lead life smoothly as we have been doing now. And as we have discussed earlier also, this also has led to quite a few accidents as people have lost huge number of lives. Does these points, whatever I'm stating, is it only related to the present trend of doing the maintenance on the aircraft? No, it is not like that. The emerging trends which are in the industry, like predictive maintenance, as we discussed, augmented reality, additive manufacturing, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, remote maintenance, Internet of Things, digital twin technology. These are some of the emerging technologies in the industries, and of course they are the part of aviation also. In this emerging trends also, we are supposed to remember the points what we have discussed now in order to ensure that we don't turn out to be complacent or fatigued or don't communicate properly, and few of the points which are going to be there. If you remember this, I'm sure we will be able to do wonders even with the emerging trends. And these are the trends which will be able to assist us to come out of these lapses or the errors what we could be doing now. So I said that there are 3 and there are few more. From where did I get these points? This is the dirty dozen. 12 of the most common human error preconditions to accidents and incidents have been found in that. Fatigue, lack of communication, lack of knowledge, complacency, pressure, lack of teamwork, lack of resources, norms, lack of assertiveness, stress, lack of awareness. If we generalize it and if we see that maximum amount of accidents and incidents wherever it has occurred, the root cause could be from 95%, at least it will be from one of these factors. See, does it look quite a simple thing? And if we remember these all 12 points and what are the challenges and how we should come out of it, I'm sure we will be able to make our skies safer, our professional lives very good, and our relationships much stronger than now what we are. So I just want only one thing from every one of us here is focus on at least one point of the dirty dozen every day or weekly, 1 point at least, and try to think of it while driving to work or in the shower or any place, which will not only make your professional or career life brighter, I'm sure it will make your relationships much more stronger. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening and not dozing off, and I'm ready for questions if there are any.